her big budget.
Southeast Texas Weekly, brought to you by the Modern Vein Surgery Institute at Privity Clinic for Surgical Care.
Hello again and welcome back to Southeast Texas Weekly. I'm Kevin Steele. Good to have you with us today to talk politics. We do it every 2 weeks. Be sure and show up. Contact us on Facebook and social media and let us know how you feel about the show, what kind of questions you want to see. Throw out some questions for some of our panelists if you like, and hopefully we'll be able to get to a good many of them here on our broadcast. Joining me today to talk politics on the heels of one of the great presidential debates in America on CNN just days ago, the Democratic presidential debate, by the way, are Joe Evans, Republican activist. Good to see you, sir.
Glad to be here.
We haven't had you on the show for a while. I think you're running for office. Your opponent has been invited to be with us as well. Could not make it on this occasion by way of balance and everything. Want to mention those things. Good to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
Also today, the great James Shannon with the Beaumont Examiner is here. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, Kevin.
And it's always fun to talk to Nathan Buddy Reynolds with the Reynolds Law Firm.
Glad to be here, Kevin.
How are you? I know
Doing
this is,
well.
You probably had a party, a ball at the Reynolds Mansion for the for the Democratic presidential debate. Am I wrong? I don't want to get personal. I don't think that's right for me to get personal like that. But now I'm going to let you off the hook for that one.
We had a party.
At the mansion?
At the mansion, yes.
All right.
We love having you, man. I thank you so much for being here.
And we're going to pay the taxes for that mansion here pretty soon, too.
Oh, yeah, I bet
I'm
you
hearing
are.
you. I'm hearing you. That gets all of us. All right, we move into this question of the debate. Winners, losers, that would be the logical place to begin. James Shannon, let me throw it to you first.
I
big
thought
winners?
Senator Sanders did well. He's not going to be the nominee. I thought Secretary Clinton did surprisingly well. She is going to be the nominee. And what I liked about it is they talked about issues. I did like when Governor Webb, I think it was Senator Webb, talked about his biggest political enemy was the guy that shot him in Vietnam, but he was dead. So it was one of the, give and take. But I wouldn't say it was enjoyable, but I wouldn't say it was a great debate. But it was civil. And
was it entertaining, and who won it?
I believe it was Hillary's
entertaining.
show, and if it's your show, you get to win.
Yeah.
And she came through, and she showed.
You get to win if you don't lose. Did anybody lay a
Exactly.
glove on her?
I don't believe they did.
All right. And Joe Evans, in your view, who were the winners and losers of the debate from the purely political vantage point?
The GOP won.
Yeah, the GOP.
Because when I look at that field of candidates in comparison to what we have, head and shoulders over that, the most polished and sharp person was Hillary Clinton, which we knew. And she's so much more smarter and polished and well-spoken than the rest of that group. But she has some issues as far as her baggage. So I think the GOP won.
You know what? Nobody seemed to lay a hand on her, including her most important challenger, Bernie Sanders, shook her hand on the matter of the email
Well, we know
controversy.
she was already anointed. This is just all, show and go, something for the people to see. That's what the Democratic Party was given. It's Hillary Clinton, and that's all you get.
I think Buddy's right. If she didn't lose, she won just by the fact they didn't lay a glove on her. And it's interesting. I had the same reaction when I watched the Republican debates that the Democrats won. But I couldn't see one of the people on that stage as a potential president. Some of the ones that came close, Dr. Carson, Carly Fiorina, you start looking more deeply into their background. They're disqualified just by their own inexperience. So who does that leave? I don't know. But I think just like in the Republican debates, the Democrats won. I can appreciate what you're saying about our debate.
The Republican debate definitely had more entertainment value because you had Donald Trump up there. But as far as substance for a leader, I think it's pretty clear who the better leaders would be, and they were this week.
A substance, and the New York Times editorial page put forth that argument that when you look at the two presidential debates back to back, that there was no question that the Democrats came off in the view of the New York Times editorial page as the grown-ups in the room. I think using those exact words, as the grown-ups in the room, while all the Republicans had was a divisive fight back and forth. Do you see that?
I do. And the Republican debate, they were making little jokes back and forth about one another, and Governor Christie, and of course Trump was hitting everybody and come out and hit Rand Paul immediately. But the Democrats were able to actually discuss the issues: gun control, immigration, with somewhat of an educated and perspective.
Democrats were freed from the need the Republicans had to pander to the far right elements in Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina. That's what drove those debates.
No, I don't think it's pandering. I think it's calling it exactly what it is. There are issues that we need to tackle. Whereas in the Democratic debate, you only got softball questions. You propped Hillary up, and then you got to display your potential nominee.
But softball questions, the email controversy was asked, Anderson Cooper put forth the question pretty hard. Softball questions, he said, what about this matter of the emails?
Well, we know in the grand scheme of things, the general public doesn't really care about those emails. We do, because we understand the ramification of them not being properly handled. But Hillary's base doesn't care about those emails. They can care less about those emails.
Because the general public is going to elect a president.
Right, but they don't care about the emails.
Listen, Congressman McCarthy, the House Majority Leader at the time, said the whole Benghazi committee was a cooked-up scheme to get Hillary. That's where the email scandal comes from.
And that's why more Republicans like him should go.
And Representative Hanna came back and confirmed that this week.
And that's the problem.
That's just the reality. You know what, Joe? You're going to drive out everybody in your party except the extreme 40.
Well, maybe it's time, because now we can do something.
Right.
Okay, the Freedom Caucus is the only caucus that's making any noise. The Freedom Caucus is the only group of guys who are saying, no, we're not going to spend more money. No, we're not going to fund Planned Parenthood. No, we're not going to make deals with Iran. So yeah, it's about time that the Liberty Caucus did stand up.
You'd support a push to the right.
And we'll threaten to shut down the government.
I would definitely support a push to the right.
If we threaten to shut down the government if we don't get our way.
Shut it down. Make the president do something.
Hey, I got an idea. Let's talk. There were no Planned Parenthood questions at last night at the. I won't say last night at the CNN debate. No, there were no Planned Parenthood questions, and we're going to talk about that when Southeast Texas Weekly continues.